Hi, this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast, where CEOs, COOs, and business owners share strategies for better success. This is 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best strategies are concise business advice. And so we're going to be concise and get right to our guest today. And with question number 1, tell us in a few sentences what you do and who you are.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for inviting me on, Keith. And my name is Jason Malo. I'm the owner of Advanced Automotive Performance. We're based in Uxbridge, Massachusetts, and we're a full-service auto repair facility handling maintenance and repairs for our customers.
Do the whole line of things for the autos. So very
Correct.
needed. Well, it's great
Yes,
having
exactly.
you on. I appreciate you being here. So question number 2, what's the best thing about being a business leader?
For me personally, it's kind of my creative outlet. I first of all see myself as an entrepreneur, and then secondly as a small business owner of an auto repair shop. I think a lot differently than the peers in my industry, and I try to be creative, think outside the box, look to other industries for solutions, different things like that. So for me, it's a creative outlet.
That's really cool. You know, and some entrepreneurs aren't very creative. They're very by the book kind of a thing. So that's a nice combination as well.
Yep.
So question number 3, I hear from other leaders that a lot of times their people strategy can be more challenging than their actual business strategy in running their business. Your thoughts on that?
I would have to agree. I've made a comment in the past that if I could run my business with robots, it would be perfect. But yeah, people definitely bring a lot of variables to the equation, which makes it challenging to, structure business plans because something inevitably comes up. Somebody's got a personal issue that they've got to deal with, and that becomes your issue now because it screws up your plans. And so, yeah, it can definitely be a challenge. That being said, at the moment, at least without the robots, they are probably the most important part of the business. So it's definitely something that you got to work on and try to get right.
Yeah, a lot of times it's the business's biggest and best asset in running the business. So, well, great. All right, question number 4. What strategy would you like to share with other business leaders today?
So there's something that I've used a lot in my career as a business owner, and I watched a video recently on Elon Musk, and I thought he really did a great job of explaining something that I've used for a long time, but never really had a terminology for it. And his terminology is first principle thinking. And basically the concept is that instead of just looking at things as, why do we do that? And everybody says, well, that's how we've always done it. Well, is that a good reason to continue doing it that way? And in a lot of cases, the answer is no. So one of the things Elon Musk does with first principle thinking is to go back to square one and try to figure out, what are you trying to accomplish in the first place? Sometimes we only look at micro segments of our business. And, when we're looking at that, we say, well, we could tweak this or we could change this a little bit, but we don't look at it in the big picture of the whole business. What are we trying to accomplish? And sometimes we have procedures and processes that are slowing down our business or causing problems or causing profit loss or, all kinds of different issues. And we try to fix that one little issue without seeing how it fits into the bigger picture. And I think that the first principle thinking is pause for a minute and ask yourself the question, what are we trying to accomplish? And then say, okay, this is how we've been doing it for a long time. Is it the best way to accomplish what we want to accomplish? Sometimes you can cut that process right out of the whole picture and, save yourself some time, save yourself some costs, whatever the case might be. But by going back to the beginning and trying to really figure out, what are we trying to do here? And put yourself in that mindset. A second principle that I kind of wanted to mention is the fact that in my viewpoint as an entrepreneur, the only competition out there is in my head. So I don't look at other peers in my industry as competition. I feel like if you only look at your own limitations inside your head and your belief systems and things like that as your competition, instead of the other people around you in the same industry, you can actually do a couple things. Number one, you can work with those people and possibly come up with things that might work for both of your businesses or might improve the industry overall. And you also don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Maybe keep an eye on things just so you see if there's any major changes in your industry or the market that you might want to take advantage of or be cautious of or whatever. But ultimately, if you just focus on your own business and the things that you're trying to accomplish and stay away from, analyzing how you compare to the competition, I think it's a very healthy way of doing business as an entrepreneur.
Some great strategies and advice there. And, I really like that first principle thinking. And, you kind of hit on it as well, that a lot of times in business, we kind of segment the business. And so it's, it's sales,
Correct.
It's operation, or it's whatever. And we don't align those. We don't connect the pieces. And as you were talking about, that first principle thinking really aligns those of not just let's look at this segment, but let's look at the business as a whole. What are we trying to accomplish?
Correct.
So some great strategies there. Thank you. So question number 5, what other successful business owners, CEOs like yourself, would you like to do a shout out to, acknowledge, and you think might be good on the podcast?
There's a lot that would be higher end people, like Elon Musk would be awesome. Don't know if you would be able to get him for the podcast, but who knows? Another person that's helped me tremendously and helped my industry in the automotive is a gentleman named Carm Capriotto. He runs a podcast similar to what you're doing, but his is all automotive specific, and he's done a phenomenal job of bringing our industry together. The top probably 5% in our industry follow his podcast religiously and have been on there multiple times. He does a really great job of bringing the main street to kind of the whole audience and talking about how the automotive industry is functioning at Main Street level, and then how we can take it to the next level and things like that. So he's been a real big influence on my current career anyway.
Oh, cool. Well, good. Yeah, it's kind of like engineering. Sometimes auto mechanics, they don't talk the same language that lay people do. And it's like, you got to be able to talk both languages sometimes.
Correct.
But all right. So question number 6, just kind of a final fun question. Tell me about one of your favorite past bosses.
All right. Yeah, this is kind of interesting. So I have one in particular that I'm thinking of, which was my first boss. And when he was my boss, he was definitely not my favorite. However, when I think back on previous bosses, when I read your question, I was thinking, I said, you know what? Who was my favorite boss? And I can't say that I really have a favorite in the sense of, being friendly with necessarily, but my first boss, I was about in my early teens, 12, 13, 14 years old. I started working for my uncle's car dealership, detailing cars. And this gentleman used to be a drill sergeant in the military. And so he was extremely detail oriented on the quality of the work that we were putting out. And he used to continuously make me redo my work over and over and over again until it was absolutely perfect. And at the time, it was super frustrating, and I got annoyed and angry at him. But when I look back on it, it has served me extremely well over the years and definitely given me a different level of quality expectations on my own work as well as all of those around me.
Yeah, drill sergeants are not known for their touchy-feely side at all. But
exactly.
But like you said, it really kind of shaped your career, and obviously you've been in automotive for a long, long time. So
correct.
That's a cool
couple
story.
Decades now.
Well, it has been great having you on. Before we leave, can you tell people how they can reach you or get a hold of you?
Sure. Best way is to reach out through our website, which is theautodoctor.net, all spelled out, TheAutoDoctor.net. You can also find me on LinkedIn under my company, Advanced Auto, and on Facebook as well. We're on Facebook as The Auto Doctor.
Awesome. Well, again, it's been great having you on. We appreciate you being here. And this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast. And for more insights and ideas, you can follow us at Weaver Business Coaching on LinkedIn. And of course, you can listen to us on your favorite podcast platform. And we wish you the best success.
Thanks, Keith.